Hi, I'm Jaclyn Bates, a fourth grade teacher at Grace Hardeman Elementary in Birdville ISD. I have the opportunity to have a technology-rich environment for my students. So as you can see, we have the smart projector. With the smart projector, you can have more than one student using the styluses at the same time, and so they love that. I also have smart response clickers in the classroom. It's a way that the teachers and the students can track their learning to see how we are doing as a class and how they're doing individually. Last year I had a student, and I actually have the same student this year, for reading, and the first day that we had done the clickers, we had an assessment, and the student saw on his clicker that he did not do so well. So he actually has to stay in during recess and redo it, which most students don't ask you to do that. He did that, and then from then on, every time we would use the clickers, it was his goal to make an A every single time. This year is the same thing. He's willing to learn, wanting to do things. He's motivated, and I think it's because of the clickers. So much that even this year, whereas before last year he would fail some assignments, this year he's actually in part of the gifted program, the Identified Potential students, IP students, and so he gets to go out for GT now. Not to say that it's just the smart response clickers, but I think that there's a lot that has to do with that. I also have a lot of students, like I said before, special ed students, ESL students, and with the clickers, it's like a level playing field for them. Some of those students have a hard time writing on pencil paper tasks, but when you hand them the clickers, it's a click of a button, and you know right away whether they knew the skill or not, or whether it was, could they just not get it down on paper? And it levels it for everyone. Another thing that we do in the classroom is I use the app Creations, and I will basically clone myself, which all teachers need a clone. So I will clone myself so that I can be at a teacher table live with a group of students, and then I will pre-record a lesson on Creations, and then the students can view the video either on the iPads themselves or on the student computer. On your student computer, pull up the Creations here, and the students can view the video right here on the screen. And you can use headphones and then the little nifty splitter, so you can have 6 students sitting around watching the same video and then recording on a recording sheet at one of the stations. So basically cloning yourself here at one lab while I'm at teacher table with another group of students. The way that I use iPads in the classroom with the students, I have 12 of these. And what I use them for is our literacy stations, which we would call workstations, literacy labs. And so what I do with those is we use task cards, so the student will do a task card and then they will scan the QR code on the back to tell whether they got it correct or not. So it's immediate feedback for the student of how they did on that task. Another thing that we do, there are millions of apps out there that you can use for reading or English, and so some of the ones my kids love would be Brain Pop, Spelling City, Grammar for Writing, different things like that, and it's a great way to differentiate learning with the workstation. So if a group of students goes to that iPad lab, then they will be able to choose the folder, because you can make folders, so they'll go to their folder and all the apps are on their level, and so you can differentiate learning in the classroom that way. Another great app that I use in the classroom, and it's been basically a saving grace for me this year, is Evernote, because again, I can clone myself on Evernote, so I will pre-record lessons that the students can go back to and view. And the reason for that is because I have 7 special ed students and other students on a tier, so they either have IEPs or teacher accommodations that say they need something to be read aloud to them. And so if I were to gather all of those students as what would supposed to be a small group, which is kind of a large group, at the teacher table and read it aloud in a traditional classroom, you know, everybody's on a different page, everybody's at a different pace. And so with Evernote, the lesson is, a picture of it is on there, and then it's pre-recorded. They can take their iPad and headphones, go back to their desk, and not being separated from the rest of the group. And I've even had a student state their opinion about that. The first day I handed it to him, I said, this is the way we're going to read our test today. Here's your iPad and here's your headphones. Go back to your table. You can push play and pause as many times as you want. And his response was, yes, I can now do this at my desk like everyone else. And that's when you know that the technology that we have in the classroom is not just helping the students academically, but it's helping them emotionally too.